Hello and welcome. What we're looking at today is a really unique impact investment opportunity. It's called the Biochar Workforce Project, and it's a model for how you can combine solid financial returns with truly verifiable climate action. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll talk about the new climate asset at the center of all this. Then, we'll introduce you to the incredible team on the ground. After that, and this is key, we'll detail exactly how this investment is de-risked. Then we'll get to the numbers, and finally, we'll show you the vision for taking this from a pilot to a massive scale. All right, first things first, let's frame the opportunity. You see, the challenge of decarbonization isn't just about cutting future emissions. It's also about dealing with the carbon that's already in our atmosphere and, more importantly, turning what we see as liabilities into real, tangible assets. And that right there is the core of the problem we're solving. We've got this massive, often completely overlooked source of greenhouse gas emissions just sitting in rural economies. But what if that problem was actually a resource in disguise? Well, the solution is something called biochar. This isn't just about getting rid of waste. It's a carbon-negative technology. It takes a polluting liability, agricultural waste, and turns it into a regenerative asset. This process creates what are known as carbon dioxide removal credits, or CDRs. These are internationally certified and can be sold on the global market. Now, an idea is one thing, but execution is everything. An opportunity is only as good as the team that's actually going to make it happen. And that brings us to the heart of this project, our partner on the ground, Cooperative Ananda. And listen, this is not some new organization testing an idea. The people behind Ananda have been doing community development work in this exact region for over a decade. The cooperative itself has been operating continuously for over 5 years, building incredible trust. They have a proven, verifiable track record and existing relationships that are just crucial for success. And what's so critical to understand is that they are not going at this alone. They've built this robust ecosystem of partners. You've got Carbon Connect from Germany for the tech and to buy the carbon credits, Carbon Standards International from Switzerland for the certification, and the Australian Embassy providing that vital seed funding. This ensures the project meets global standards right from day one. Okay, let's talk about what's probably top of mind for any investor: risk. How do we protect the capital? We've been very deliberate about this, and the entire opportunity has been structured to minimize risk. So let's answer that question head on. How is your investment actually protected? Well, it comes down to 4 fundamental pillars of risk mitigation. Let's walk through these because they're absolutely crucial. First, market risk is gone. We have a signed letter of intent with Carbon Connect. They've guaranteed they will buy the carbon credits. Second, transparency. We're using a digital verification system, DMRV, on the blockchain, so every single ton of CO2 removed is tracked and can't be altered. Third, a huge portion of the startup cost is already covered. We have a $20,000 grant from the Australian Embassy. And fourth, and maybe most importantly, you have the team. Cooperative Ananda has over 5 years of experience in this exact community. These 4 pillars working together create an incredibly solid, de-risked investment. All right, now that we've established that solid foundation and covered how we've mitigated risk, let's get into the numbers. What's the ask, and what can you expect as a return? So we're seeking a total investment of $100,000. And you can see how it's allocated here. It's all going directly into making the project work. Operations, building out the infrastructure to scale, and getting the high-level certifications we need to access those global carbon markets. Now, here's what's really powerful. Your investment isn't working in a vacuum. It's actually a force multiplier. It leverages almost $50,000 in secured grant funding and in-kind contributions that are already committed to the project. This means every dollar you invest has a much, much bigger impact. So, to be crystal clear, the total capital we need to unlock this project's full potential, to turn the key and transform this from a successful pilot into a scalable enterprise, is $100,000. And what about the timeline? Well, we are projecting a return of capital within a horizon of just about 18 months. That's a pretty rapid cycle, and it's made possible because we already have that secured buyer for the carbon credits. And here it is, the bottom line for your portfolio. The financial model is projecting a 35% internal rate of return. This offers a really compelling financial upside right alongside that verifiable climate impact. But look, this isn't just about a one-and-done project. This investment is really the seed capital for a much larger, scalable, and regenerative enterprise.
Let's look at the long-term vision. So here's the roadmap. It's a really clear, phased approach. We start with a pilot, which is already funded. Then your investment helps us scale to 5 hectares. From there, we rapidly expand to 400, with a 5-year target of reaching 1,200 hectares of mature, scaled operations. And once we hit that scale, what does that look like financially? Well, we're estimating, and I'd say pretty conservatively, about $1.8 million in annual revenue just from the carbon credit sales alone.
Now, this is where the impact in impact investing really comes to life. Look at how the net revenue is distributed. It's shared equally. 25% goes directly back to the local producers doing the work. The rest funds the operations and certification, and then a full quarter is reinvested into a community-governed social fund for things like local infrastructure and education. So when you put it all side by side, the contrast is, well, it's pretty stark, isn't it? Without this investment, it remains a fantastic but small pilot. With the investment, it becomes a commercially viable, large-scale climate solution that creates a sustainable rural economy and captures that 35% IRR for investors.
So what we have here is a de-risked opportunity to generate significant financial returns while funding a proven, scalable, and verifiable solution to climate change. The next step is a letter of intent to begin due diligence. The real question is, what role will you play in building this regenerative future?